About an hour ago, Adam Schefter tweeted that Antonio Brown would be suspended for the first 8 games of the season without pay for multiple violations of the NFL's personal conduct policy. And to me, this only means one thing. And that one thing is that Antonio Brown's going to be signed. Yes, he said he retired on Twitter, or at least was hinting at it, but why would they suspend him if there was no interest? That's what I've been thinking ever since I saw the tweet, and that brings up 2 teams for me. Those 2 teams being the Ravens and Seahawks. I first want to talk about the Ravens. The Ravens wide receiver core is poor, to say the very least. Their wide receivers are Marquise Brown, cousin of Antonio Brown, Willie Snead IV, Miles Boykin, Devin Duvernay, James Proche, and Chris Moore are their top 6 receivers. They just drafted Duvernay, who I think is not a bad prospect, but definitely not ready to play right now. Willie Snead should not be your wide receiver 2. Miles Boykin should not be starting on a team. That's just horrible. Like, the fact that Lamar Jackson had 36 touchdowns passing to 6 picks is outstanding, but it was also mostly because of the tight end group, especially Mark Andrews. Hayden Hurst was a good role player tight end. I think he'll be a good starter with the Falcons. But that's just 1 or 2 players. Marquise Brown was alright. I mean, he had 7 touchdowns, but he had like 500 yards, 600 yards at most. And Willie Snead and Miles Boykin are just not good. Like, I always thought Willie Snead had potential based off, I think it was his first or second year. He did really well for the Saints. Then he left the Saints and just hasn't done good since. So that's why I think Antonio Brown is a great fit. 1, his cousin's on the team, and Marquise Brown. That would be a good connection for them, a wide receiver 1 and 2 punch. He's worked out with Lamar Jackson. You know, that's always a plus when the quarterback wants you. The quarterback has said that he wants him publicly, I believe. So I feel like there's no reason why the Ravens shouldn't sign him. If anything, they should sign him to a cheap contract, obviously, because obviously he's getting suspended for the first 8 games without pay. But if the Ravens sign him, that'd be a huge plus for them. Honestly, that could make them win the Super Bowl. Honestly, it really could, because having a player of that caliber next to Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, and Marquise Brown, who I think will be good, I just think that would be an unstoppable offense, especially with Mark Andrews as well in the mix. I just don't think any of the other receivers on this team are really capable of having a big role for them. So I think that signing Antonio Brown would make this offense, again, the best in the league, even over the Chiefs, fully healthy Chiefs. Well, maybe not. Maybe the Chiefs edge them out, but I feel like the Ravens will have a better running attack. So as a whole, they'll probably have more yards than the Chiefs, probably be a better scoring offense. But obviously the Chiefs will have a better passing offense, even with the Ravens signing Antonio Brown, which I, again, truly believe will and can happen. So to conclude the Ravens, they need to sign him due to their lack of wide receiver depth, his connection with Lamar Jackson and his cousin Marquise Brown, and John Harbaugh's a smart guy. He knows good football players when he sees them. So if he knows that Antonio Brown's a good football player, yes, he might be a little mentally not okay, but he's seen some help. I mean, he's trying to get better. If Antonio Brown's willing to come out of retirement, sign him, John Harbaugh. Now on to the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, in my opinion, is the most valuable player in the league. He continually brings the Seahawks to the playoffs with minimal talent around him on both sides of the ball. The Seahawks finally have 2 good receivers in Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, with a solid 3rd in Phillip Dorsett and a solid 4th in David Moore. However, throughout this offseason, Russell Wilson has been working out with Antonio Brown. I think it would be a great signing for them, just because having Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and Antonio Brown on the offensive side of the ball, you got a physical freak in DK Metcalf, you got a speedster in Tyler Lockett, and you have one of the best receivers potentially of all time in Antonio Brown, having one of the best receiving seasons ever a couple years ago. I think that it would only help the Seahawks' chances to winning the Super Bowl. I had said previously in my Jamal Adams video that I think they now have a big chance because they traded for Jamal Adams. But imagine if they signed Antonio Brown. Think of how good that offense would be with a good running back group with Chris Carson, Rashad Penny, Carlos Hyde, and Travis Homer. Although Travis Homer's nothing special. That offense would be spectacular. It would be so good. The passing, the rushing, their O-line's not horrible at this point. They have Dwayne Brown, Mikey Upati. After that, I don't really know the other guys in the O-line. I don't know their names. Obviously, I don't just go around watching offensive line film. No offense, offensive linemen. And no offense, NFL nerds. Although I am one. I just don't go around watching O-line film, so I don't really know some of those guys. But that's besides the point. Signing Antonio Brown would turn this team to a deadly team in general, because their defense is already getting better. They have Shaquille Griffin, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, and Quentin Dunbar, depending on his suspension if he gets one, in the secondary. That's a lethal secondary. They have a good running linebacker group, good running back group on offense, good wide receiver group, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. What would signing Antonio Brown to a contract hurt? Your quarterback and him have a relationship because they've been working out in this offseason. They're getting their chemistry together for the potential of him being signed by them. It makes no sense for the Seahawks to not at least give him a shot. I feel like that's what teams need to do. They need to give a player like Antonio Brown a shot, just like the Patriots did I mean, he only played one game, but guess what? If he's a bad human being again, a weird guy, you can just cut him. Like, yes, there might be some consequences financially, but it's worth the risk, I feel like, because he's not going to get paid that much, because I think he understands at this point how much of a problem he could be. But I feel like he will take a shorter and smaller contract, which will only help the team and help Antonio Brown get back in the league. Now to conclude, the Seahawks, I feel like they should think about signing him. If they do, that's great for them, but I can understand why not, because they already have a good wide receiver group, decent tight ends in Greg Olsen, Will Dissly, and Jacob Hollister, good running backs. They already have a good offense. Maybe they don't have the cap space for it, and they have enough wide receivers as it is, so I can see why they wouldn't, but I feel like it wouldn't hurt at all, considering the fact that him and Russ have chemistry based off their offseason workouts. Now on to suspension. This is going to be short. I feel like it was completely fair for the NFL to suspend him. I mean, he did some bad things, and allegedly some bad things, although I don't necessarily believe them. I'm not going to talk about the allegations that I'm specifically talking about, but let's just say it was almost settled by money, but then Antonio Brown backed out. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say what it was. But yeah, I don't necessarily believe that one. But there are other allegations that I do believe, and there's proof of it happening. So I think it's completely fair for them to suspend him for violating NFL's personal conduct policy. And I wish Antonio Brown the best of luck finding a job in the NFL if he wants to come back from his technical kind of retirement. Because why would he get suspended if there was no interest from teams, or if he was not interested in coming back in the league? With all that being said, that is it from me, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Fanatic Sports. Hope you all liked the video. And if you did, please subscribe and hit the like button. It only takes 2 seconds. Also, follow me on Instagram, @FanaticSports25, and on Twitter, @FanaticSports. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day.